Joining us for NBC Palm Springs Midday, I'm Joe Smith. I'm glad you're here. The big story today is the heat. Let's turn it over to Jerry. It's going to be really hot.
Yeah, it's perfectly timed for the holiday weekend, too. Beginning today and running through Labor Day Monday, we're going to deal with excessive heat with temps that'll be above 115 and flirting with 120 a couple of those days. Lots of sunshine to go with that, too, and slightly drier air by the end of the week. But if you survive this weekend and don't melt, got some cooler temps to tell you about next week. 115, our forecast high today, but hotter numbers expected on Saturday, Sunday, and again on Monday. Full forecast, all the numbers just minutes away.
All right, thank you, Jerry. We'll hear from you in just a little bit. There's a good possibility more than a dozen states could see record-setting temperatures this weekend. There's concern extreme heat will lead to high fire danger. Nearly 45 million people could be under excessive heat watches or warnings. And there's another possibility of rolling blackouts. There's a statewide flex alert issued heading into the holiday weekend. Our Nico Payne spoke with the energy experts.
The Coachella Valley is staring down yet another record-breaking heat wave. This seems to be one of the many new normals we are seeing in today's ever-changing world. California saw the first rolling blackouts in 20 years during the last heat wave, and officials were concerned the state could run out of power. The California Independent Systems Operator manages the state's power grid. They make decisions like limiting the state's power and potentially triggering outages.
The response we got was unprecedented, and we saw an impact of nearly thousands of megawatts that made those 2 days much more manageable.
Cal ISO only manages the power grid at the state level. Companies like Southern California Edison and Imperial Irrigation District provide power to residents locally. So how can we avoid the frenzy of the last heat wave? Conservation is the key.
Conserving energy, especially during the heat wave, is very important. What we experienced is a high demand. In fact, it got so high in July that we reached our newest peak in history.
We are talking about really shaving the demand. It's just that little bit that we need to shave off in terms of the demand curve, if you imagine that. And so each customer does make a difference.
We're now in the month of September and still seeing temperatures approaching 120. And it seems like a new heat wave every week. Nico Payne, NBC Palm Springs.
And as we take a look outside right now, we can see a few clouds out there, but it's really going to steam up a little bit later. Jerry, let's get a little bit more details.
Yeah, already triple digits in the Coachella Valley, 101. Winds are calm at the moment and 17% relative humidity. So we dried out a little bit since the last couple of days. 81 at Big Bear, doing a temp check in and around the valley. And even 100 under sunshine at Yucca Valley, 101 at 29 Palms, 106 Desert Hot Springs, 104 at Mecca, 101 at Palm Desert, and leading the way 108 at Rancho Mirage at this hour. Satellite, clear skies, lots of sunshine today for the Coachella Valley. Not much going on over the southwest. That's because we have that ridge of high pressure, which is strengthening and expanding over the next few days, keeping those temperatures not only in Southern California, but much of the southwest 10 to even 15 degrees above seasonal norms. We'll be in the mid-1 for the Coachella Valley today with dew points that'll be in the 50-degree range, but easily above 110 beginning next hour or two. Excessive heat warnings in effect for the Coachella Valley, High Desert, San Gorgonio Pass, Inland Empire, actually all of Southern California through Monday. Now, keep in mind the temperatures are going to go up after today. I mean, it's a hot 115 this afternoon on our Comfort Air 3-day forecast, but 119 Saturday, Sunday 118, even hotter on Labor Day Monday. All the numbers and the 7-day on the way.
Coronavirus coverage brought to you by East Valley COVID-19 testing site, serving residents of eastern Coachella Valley.
We've seen a gradual decrease in local coronavirus cases over the past few weeks and a lower number of hospitalizations. We caught up with Riverside County Health Officer Dr. Cameron Kaiser about the apparent decline. He has some positive praise.
I think people are beginning to understand what they need to do to keep transmission down. Plus, there's a recognition with the current tier system. If folks want stuff to open up earlier and get back to as much of as normal as we can do during this particular pandemic, we're going to need to make some progress on those numbers. And I think people have really risen to the occasion. It doesn't take a whole lot to make sure that you have your facial covering on when you're out. It doesn't take a whole lot to realize you got to maintain that 6 feet.
But with the holiday weekend, health experts worry travel and get-togethers could set us back. Here's Sarah Dolph.
Before the sun sets on summer, millions of Americans are planning a last warm weather hurrah. This Labor Day weekend, AAA sees travelers opting for remote locations over cities and driving instead of flying.
It's your own vehicle and you can control your stops.
But there are worries vacationers might trigger another round of COVID-19 infections. Some areas that saw spikes after Memorial Day, like Oregon's Multnomah County, pleading with people to play it safe.
Our ask of the public is to just find one way to take your plans down a notch in terms of risk.
That includes not taking a vacation from pandemic precautions, says Cleveland Clinic doctor Alan Tagey.
We need people to do social distancing. We need to keep gatherings to small numbers. Under 10 is what people say. And to wear a mask when possible.
And while many continue to avoid crowds, health experts say small gatherings can be risky as well.
The more people there are, the greater the chances someone may have an asymptomatic or a pre-symptomatic infection, and they could spread it.
Safe and smart for the final days of summer. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
The August job report is out this morning. Payrolls increased by 1.4 million in August, and the unemployment rate tumbled to 8.4%. It's the lowest unemployment rate since the coronavirus shutdowns first began. And weekly unemployment claims fell as well last week. The Labor Department reports 881,000 people filed first-time claims last week, the lowest weekly total since the pandemic began. Part of the reason for the dip is the government has changed the way it accounts for seasonal fluctuation in the labor market. And locally, we've been getting a lot of emails and calls. People have yet to receive their initial unemployment benefits. And as our Kitty Alvarado reports now, one local state senator is sounding the alarm. She says the system needs an audit and overhaul.
There's nothing I can do about it.
I tried every day to contact them.
They are just two Valley residents who've struggled to get the unemployment benefits they signed up for. They represent over 1 million Californians in the same boat.
One of my constituents came to my office and gave us all of these.
That's Senator Melissa Melendez, holding over 100 unemployment benefit envelopes, all sent to one address in Marietta.
They have debit cards in them, they have checks in them, they have certification paperwork in them. He went out there one day. There were 49 pieces of mail from EDD in his mailbox.
And he's not the only one receiving mail from the Employment Development Department meant for others. More of her constituents are reaching out, including Mike Stouffer from Riverside. He gets anywhere from 10 to 30 pieces of EDD mail a day for people he's never even heard of.
After a while, I said, this is getting kind of crazy. I started taking pictures of it. There's something really weird going on.
Melendez says she's been calling for an EDD audit only to be shut down.
Because EDD has a serious problem. We want to know what in the world is going on so we can fix it.
Governor Newsom addressed the issue on Wednesday and acknowledged it could be fraud.
Yes, we are concerned about fraud in this space, and we are working with local authorities as well as state agencies, working with federal authorities.
Melendez says now, only after she called attention to the issue, a smaller scale audit will be done.
It is a start, but I do believe that they really need to do the broad, full audit to find out what's going on. People are literally helpless. And the least their government can do is get it right when it comes to getting their benefits to them.
Kitty Alvarado, NBC Palm Springs.
Now, it's not just here. In the Los Angeles area, people are also reporting stacks of EDD letters arriving in their mailboxes. There seems to be a common theme here. The homeowners have recently put their homes on the market, and they've never applied for unemployment benefits. Up next in Palm Springs, Palm Canyon Drive is looking different. Restaurants are headed outdoors. And as we head to break, let's take a live look at our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera. Beautiful skies, hot temperatures. And welcome back. A body is found near a dumpster in Palm Springs. It was discovered early yesterday on North Civic Drive. The body was in an enclosed trash bin area, but not in the bin itself. The death is being called suspicious by Palm Springs police, but they have not ruled out it being a homicide. Dining on Palm Canyon Drive in Palm Springs begins today. The road closures went up yesterday, so restaurants can expand into the street. Palm Canyon Drive will now be closed between Baristo and Tockwitz. Southwest Airlines is coming to Palm Springs Airport. Southwest will begin offering year-round service out of PSP. The new nonstop routes and locations have yet to be announced, but we should hear something before the week is up.
It's something that has been a priority for the City Council for over 10 years. The strategy of Palm Springs coming back, the convention center, the hotels, the downtown, the whole renovation, and what that's created, it has now created a fertile environment, if you will, for airlines like Southwest to take another look at Palm Springs and say, hey, this is a happening market, and they want to get in on it. Now, remember, it wasn't that many years ago that we used to have to pay American Airlines to have one flight a day in the summer to Dallas. It seems almost a little counterintuitive that they would be coming during the COVID crisis, but I think that speaks to the strength of the Palm Springs market.
And service is expected to begin later this year. The suspect in a deadly shooting in Portland last weekend was killed by law enforcement overnight. Officials say Michael Forrest Raynell was shot and killed after officers tried to arrest him. The police believe Raynell shot a 39-year-old man during a scuffle between protesters and a pro-Trump caravan in Portland.
There was a confrontation between the officers that were on scene and the subject. The information that we have at this time is that the subject was armed. There was shots that were fired into the vehicle, and the subject fled from the vehicle, at which time there was additional shots that were fired.
The founder of a far-right group called Patriot Prayer said the victim in the weekend shooting was a member of their group who participated in the caravan. 7 Rochester police officers are suspended with pay while authorities investigate their role in the death of a 41-year-old black man back in March. New video released by the victim's family raises questions about what led to his death, but a warning: the following video may be disturbing. NBC's Dan Sheneman reports.
A rally in the streets of Rochester, a community demanding justice for Daniel Prude, who died in March. The outrage sparked by this video, released by Prude's family. Police say Daniel Prude smashed windows before they had arrived. The 41-year-old was handcuffed. Officers said they placed a hood over his head because he was spitting and claimed to have COVID-19. Prude was restrained by officers. He became unresponsive. His family said he died in a hospital 7 days later. In an autopsy report provided by the family attorney, the medical examiner said his death was caused by complications of asphyxia in the setting of a physical restraint, excited delirium, and acute PCP intoxication.
I am suspending the officers in question today against the advice of counsel, and I urge the Attorney General to complete her investigation.
From Rochester's mayor, an apology.
Institutional and structural racism led to Daniel Prude's death.
They could not show no type of respect for a human life. None.
Daniel Prude's brother called 911 on the fatal night. He was worried his brother was having a mental breakdown.
Because it was a cover-up. They knew what them officers did was wrong, and they couldn't bring forth themselves to even acknowledge.
There is no cover-up whatsoever. We're going to take a look at this.
Now a family and a community want answers. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Police have charged an Arizona man with kidnapping. This after he appears to walk out of a grocery store with a cart that had someone else's child in it. A woman was at a self-checkout line purchasing groceries, and her child was nearby in the cart. A man walked over to the cart with the infant and took control. The mother reached quickly and stopped the man. The man told police he thought the cart was his, but police weren't buying it. The 146th 46th Kentucky Derby is tomorrow. The Run for the Roses is traditionally run on the first weekend in May, but due to the coronavirus, the race has been pushed back. Tis the Law will be the horse to beat. Coverage begins here on NBC tomorrow. Japanese rescuers save a man after his ship sunk during a typhoon. The survivor is overcome with expressions of grief and appreciation. The 12,000-ton ship, its 43-member crew, and 5,800 cows left New Zealand in mid-August, heading to China's eastern coast. The survivor told rescuers the ship stalled when an engine stopped, then capsized after being hit by a powerful wave. Tomorrow marks 1 month since the deadly explosion in Beirut. You're looking at rubble from a residential building. Rescue workers have detected signs of life there. Here's Simmons with the latest.
The rescue in rubble and debris, carefully sifting and digging, hoping for a miracle. Thermal imaging cameras detecting, perhaps, 2 warm bodies and breathing. The team of rescuers is small because the entire building could collapse. And could anyone have survived for 30 days after this? A month ago, a massive explosion destroyed much of Beirut's downtown coastal area, where tons of highly explosive ammonium nitrate had been stored for years. 191 people were killed and around 6,000 injured. Now this rescue operation gripping a nation still reeling. There is a possibility of life, one rescuer saying overnight. A crowd of onlookers were asked for silence so rescuers could listen. This morning, gathering again to watch the desperate search. I'm watching how they're removing 1 stone at a time, this woman says. My stomach is churning. I don't know what it is. Hope, craziness, or whatever. Hoping beyond hope for good news after so much tragedy. It is a race against time that everybody recognizes may come to nothing, and the picture is confusing. People on the ground tell us that one reading today indicated no signs of life. Others say that that reading showed a slowing heartbeat. Another scan is planned for later today. People in Lebanon and around the world will be crossing their fingers and praying. Keir Simmons, NBC News, London.
We hope for the best. Up next, they've got the beat. Students from the Academy of Musical Performance, how they found a silver lining during the pandemic. Our Sandy Newton is coming up next.
Hey, good Friday, late morning. Agua Caliente Casino Cam of the mountains there. Blue skies above. Lots of sunshine this afternoon. 111 yesterday. That's a little bit above 110 for many of us in the Coachella Valley. Well, that'll be cool compared to what we're going to experience over the next few afternoons. Already well into the triple digits around the Coachella Valley. 107 at Palm Springs and Thousand Palms. Desert Hot Springs 106. Triple digits already in the San Gorgonio Pass. Satellite clear. Yeah, not much in the way of clouds over the southwest right now. Radar. That's clear too, all over the southwest, thanks to ridgify pressure, which is only going to strengthen and expand its territory over the next 3 days. Evening breezes will kick in late in the day, won't give you much relief. Temperatures are going to be warm overnight too, but highs today in the middle 1 teens for many of us, but that'll be the starting point for the next couple of afternoons. So today, 115s, 116s for the Coachella Valley, getting up there to 112 at 29 Palms, 107 for high at Cabazon under all sunshine, taking you through each of the days now for this excessive heat warning that we have. This is Saturday, what we can expect just under 120 for the Coachella Valley and about the same on Sunday. But look out Monday, we're going to see some 120s pop up, even 121s. Possibly even some 122s. That's way up there, about 15 degrees above seasonal norms for the Coachella Valley. So 4 days of excessive heat. We have that warning not only for the Coachella Valley High Desert, San Gorgonio Pass, Inland Empire, actually all of Southern California and most of the state. It even extends into Nevada and Arizona with temps that'll be well above average. So record-setting numbers are going to be set around the area. Also, we have a fire weather watch in effect for parts to the west of us. It's not showing up on my map for some reason. Let's see if we can get it going there. No. Anyway, that's basically for the Inland Empire. And like I said, record-setting temps are going to be happening all over the Southwest. Just to give you an example, for the Coachella Valley alone, these are the standing record-high temps for Saturday and Sunday for thermal in Palm Springs. They're going to be wiped away. Yeah, no problem matching or beating those. As far as the relief from the heat, we've got to wait. Tuesday into Wednesday, we'll see the numbers come down. A trough of low pressure will be brave enough to make its way down into Southern California, dropping temps on Tuesday to around 110 for many of us. That's just the starting point. We'll also get some winds that'll be out of the northeast and quite gusty. Matter of fact, strongest winds not so bad for the valley, but high desert and especially an eastern Riverside County going to be very strong coming out of the north and northeast for us. But on the back end of that system, beginning Wednesday, the numbers come down. The one number that stands out for high, Palm Desert's 99 degrees. Most of us are around that 100-degree mark. Again, that's Wednesday afternoon. So if you don't melt over the next 3-4 days, yeah, hang in there. Wednesday looks like an awesome day. Mostly sunny skies today, a few mountain clouds, especially late Sunday into Monday. And as far as surface moisture, getting drier. 50-degree dew points drop to around 40 on Monday afternoon with 10% relative humidity. A little heads up about the air quality. We have moderate air in the Coachella Valley, but once you get to the west of us, it just gets bad. I mean, we've got unhealthy air in some areas to the west of us. Keep that in mind. As far as a 7-day forecast from Comfort Air, yeah, it's going to be hot 4 days. Today, 115 for Palm Springs, 119 tomorrow, and flirting with that 120 mark Sunday and especially Labor Day Monday afternoon. After that, the numbers go down. The winds pick up Tuesday. Best day of the week, Wednesday, 101 under sunshine.
And once again, it's time for another Silver Lining, and this one is about music, but I'm sure it's about Zoom.
Well, you know, that's our world, Joe. Zoom is where we are. It's our world. It's our go-to. And of course, those folks at the Academy of Musical Performance, AMP is the little acronym for it, started about 5 years ago teaching young people in our valley how to play guitar and drums and piano, really kind of rock and roll. They were inspired by the film School of Rock that came out a few years ago. But now, of course, students aren't learning in the classrooms anymore, and they can't hold classes to instruct them in their musical instruments. So they have turned to Zoom, and it's become very successful.
Well, it's kind of interesting because it is all about taking what we have and making it work, and they seem to be able to do it.
Absolutely. So the silver lining here with AMP is that we still might get some future rock stars thanks to that Zoom technology.
All right, let's take a look.
So many aspects of life as we know it have changed, not the least of which is students learning remotely from home. The goal is to, of course, move them back into the classrooms, but funding will be limited. And one of the first things to go are always the arts programs. 5 years ago, the Academy of Musical Performance, AMP, was started by local musician Will Sturgeon to teach young people piano and drums and guitar and many other instruments, with the bonus of performing for audiences after completion. And now, like so many other resourceful nonprofits, they've switched over to Zoom technology to continue their programs. It's been a big hit and a great silver lining for future rock stars.
What was the brainchild of AMP?
It was inspired by one of our board of directors had watched the movie School of Rock and was like, why don't we bring a summer camp like that here to the desert? So in 2015, they secured some funding from Golden Voice, our seed funding for the first 3 years, to run 3 years of this summer camp. And I came on board as a volunteer during that first year, and slowly but surely we built it out to a year-round program that offers lessons, rock band performances throughout the year.
COVID hit right before the summer, and you had great plans for your summer camp and, of course, to continue your programs. So tell me how you were able to adapt during this time.
We were a little bit nervous about our summer camp this year, particularly having to change it so drastically a week beforehand, but it actually turned out really well. We did 2 weeks of recording and video production, and you can check out on our website the final projects that the students made. They recorded them in their bedrooms over a collaborative software tool, and then video and edited video together, and the videos are super awesome. The technology doesn't exist yet to have people play, multiple people play music together over Zoom or, over some sort of video internet thing. So we had to figure out, what kind of value could we bring to a program that's just online? And luckily, music uses so many modern tools, and we kind of pivoted more towards recording and video production and band management, which are all still very important tools that musicians these days have to use.
Are you going to continue doing your Zoom classes throughout the school year?
Absolutely. And we're actually really excited about it because we were planning this spring to start private lessons, which is not something that AMP usually did. AMP was mostly focused on group learning in a rock band situation, which sometimes didn't cover like all of the fundamentals of guitar or keyboards. It wasn't the best place for students to learn an instrument, but it was a great place for students who had some sort of basic experience on their instrument to start collaborating and using those skills with other people. We're doing all of our one-on-one lessons over Zoom at this point, and that's working really well.
What a great way to rock on during this uncertain time. For NBC Cares Silver Lining, I'm Sandy Newton.
What
What's up, everyone? I'm Taylor. This week on Weekly Rundown, I am introducing you to 4 of the sweetest little kids you've probably ever seen. Plus, are you ready for your dog to be your drinking buddy? Yeah, think about that one. I'll tell you how. Plus, do you love looking at houses as much as I do? Then I have a social media site you're gonna want to see. I'll see you this Sunday after our evening news.
Now to some consumer news. Labor Day gas prices are set to be the lowest since 2004. The national average price for a gallon of gas rose to $2.23 yesterday, but it's still well below last year's national average of $2.57. Now, according to Gas Buddy, today's average could slide a few cents over the weekend. Taco Bell fans will soon see some changes to longtime favorite menu items. Beginning in November, the fast food chain will remove Mexican pizza. Items with shredded chicken, including the shredded chicken soft taco, shredded chicken burrito, and shredded chicken quesadilla melt will also be gone. It's all to add new items to the menu, like a chicken chipotle melt. Now, in this morning's Showbiz Report, Christopher Nolan's Tenet and Disney's Mulan, 2 of the most anticipated films of this year. But you may have a hard time watching one of those films. Manny the Movie Guy explains.
Hello, movie buffs. If you're like me, I've been wanting to see Christopher Nolan's Tenet. The guy who gave us The Dark Knight, Inception, Memento, and Dunkirk, among others, is a great visual storyteller, and he also believes in the power of watching movies in cinemas. I do too, but not during the pandemic. The Oscar-nominated writer-director was adamant to screen Tenet in movie theaters. Only a few cinemas are open in the US, and in California as of this writing, a small number of San Diego AMC and Regal theaters will open for Labor Day weekend. So, it breaks my heart not to see the film in time for this review, since Warner Brothers and Nolan refused to screen Tenet for critics digitally. But I believe in safety first. That's why I applaud Disney for choosing to stream Mulan on Disney+. Yes, it comes with a hefty $29.99 price tag, but it's all worth it, and here's why. First, the price you're paying is not a one-time rental. You will have access to Mulan as long as you have Disney+. That's pretty cool, considering you may want to do repeat viewings. Second, this Mulan is simply empowering. No talking animals or annoyingly overproduced musical numbers. Just an affecting story of a girl who becomes a soldier, who becomes a leader, who becomes a legend. Pretty strong for a would-be Disney princess.
Loyal, brave, and true.
Based on the 1998 movie and the folk song The Ballad of Mulan by Guo Maoqian, Liu Yifei embodies our heroine. She's tough and defiant, but loves her family and country. And if If you're looking for Christina Aguilera's hit song Reflection from the original animated film, you will find it in instrumental form strewn throughout, serving as a plot device. Director Nikki Caro, who gave us the Oscar-nominated Whale Rider, takes advantage of her magnificent setting. The cinematography and production design are top-notch, so when the pandemic is over, try to see Mulan on the big screen. But for now, be loyal, brave, and true, and stay at home and stream the film.
I will bring honor to us all.
And for that, Mulan gets 3.5 out of 4. The girl who saved the dynasty kisses. I'm Manny the movie guy.
And take a look at this. This is the cause of a traffic jam in La Quinta. A herd of bighorn sheep. This was yesterday. The herd got a police escort back to the mountain from Riverside County Sheriff's deputies. The deputies say no sheep were harmed and traffic is back to normal. We'll be back after this, but first we're going to look at the Walter Clark Highway 111 cam. Jerry's got your forecast. That looks refreshing. After the break. And welcome back. During the pandemic, we've had a core group of essential workers providing much needed services day in and day out. Our Essential Worker of the Week helps our furry friends find homes. Here's Thalia Hayden.
We're here at the Palm Springs Animal Shelter about to surprise Damon Hormel. He has no idea we're here. Come on. We're looking for somebody named Damon Hormel. Damon! I'm Thalia Hayden with NBC Palm Springs. You are our Essential Worker of the Week.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you.
Your coworkers and bosses think you are absolutely amazing. You are getting $1,000 from Honda and Toyota of the Desert.
Congratulations. Damon, thanks for all you're doing. We heard your story, yesterday and then again this morning. Amazing worker taking care of these wonderful future pets to somebody. The Valley, they love their pets, dogs and cats, and wow, just a great job. We're really honored to be here this morning and present you this.
Oh man, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this. This is, oh man, words can't even describe this, guys.
Well, this check is for you. It's well deserved. Go out and spend it on yourself.
All right, so tell us what you love the best about working for the Palm Springs Animal Shelter.
I love the animals and just the people that I work with are great. Everybody treats me so well here and I really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you all so much. This is insane.
And what are you going to do with the money?
I'm going to take my daughter out and have some fun.
And the management team chose Damon just because he's been through a lot the last couple of weeks, and he does amazing work and steps up no matter what. So we're really proud of him, the way he treats the animals and the way he communicates with the rest of the team.
Friday late morning. Looking at our Agua Caliente Casino Camp, a lot of clear skies over the valley. Plenty of sunshine the next couple of afternoons. Yesterday's 111. That was well above average, 7 degrees above the mark, and we're going to add about another 10 degrees to that. Can you deal with it? Yeah, it's going to be hot. 104 is our average this time of year, and temperatures are already past 100 degrees in the Coachella Valley and getting close to 110 at Thousand Palms and Desert Hot Springs, 107 currently at Palm Springs. But clear skies, a lot of sunshine this afternoon, a few mountain clouds maybe over the next couple of days, but for the most part, kind of a quiet weather pattern as far as clouds and rain. High pressure kind of clearing all that out and boosting those numbers up. Today, a lot of middle 1-teens for the Coachella Valley and a lot of sunshine to go with that. We'll get a light afternoon flow that'll turn onshore about 9 o'clock tonight. But as far as high temps this afternoon, a lot of 115s and 116s, and that'll be the low end as we move into the rest of the holiday weekend because those numbers are going to go a lot higher. Taking you through the weekend, Saturday, stopping shy of 120, although 120 not out of the question for the Coachella Valley on Saturday. Sunday, still just below 120 for the Coachella Valley, but the hottest day looks like it'll be Labor Day Monday with 120s, 121s popping up around us under mostly sunny skies. Even 115, 29 Palms, and getting close to 110 at Cabazon Monday afternoon. So we have that excessive heat warning in effect for the Coachella Valley, High Desert, San Gorgonio Pass, all the way to the coastline. Matter of fact, all of Southern California under that excessive heat warning that extends over much of the state, north to Vegas and out east to Phoenix. So it's going to be a hot few days. Perfectly timed for the weekend, sadly. But temperatures are going to fall as far as record highs. Matter of fact, Saturday, Sunday for both Palm Springs and Thermal. You can see the 116, 114 for Palm Springs. Yeah, they'll be shattered by the time we make our way to Monday. But relief is in sight. Matter of fact, just got to survive the weekend. Beginning Tuesday, a frontal boundary will begin to approach us. That will bring us some gusty winds out of the northeast, dry out the air too, but shave off the numbers. So around 110 on Tuesday, and winds get a little gusty too. Not so much for the valley, but high desert and especially eastern Riverside County, getting some strong winds out of the northeast. But more importantly, the temperatures come down. So Wednesday and about on Thursday, too, we'll see temperatures around 100 degrees. And what stands out is that high of 99 for Wednesday afternoon at Palm Desert. Can't wait. As far as surface moisture, it's moderate humidity, 50-degree dew points, but those numbers are chiseled down to around 40 degrees by Monday with 10% relative humidity. So drier air is moving into the area. Your Comfort Air 7-day forecast, yeah, it's going to be a hot holiday weekend. 115 today, 119 Saturday, Sunday 118, and again, 119 for Palm Springs with 120s that will pop up in the valley. Finally, Wednesday, sunshine, 101. That's my day.
Well, you know, now more than ever, we definitely have to keep our homes clean and sanitary. So joining us now is Bo Riles, who's going to tell us how to do that with a revolutionary new product from Thane Direct. And welcome, Bo.
Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you. We're so happy to have you. I have to say, a revolutionary new product, but I know Thane Direct has been around for almost 3 decades. So this is just new and improved, correct?
Yeah, just another wonderful product from Thane Direct that solves a common problem and does what it says it does.
Well, tell us a little bit about it, because I understand it gets rid of 99% of germs and bacteria, which is pretty impressive.
Well, we're taking ordinary tap water and just a little bit of salt, enough salt to fit into this little spoon right here. And what we're doing is we're electrolyzing. This is old technology that hospitals have been using for years to create, you know, a natural cleaning system that uses just the electrolyzation of salt and water together. When you send an electrical current through the salt and the water, which we do in this activator right here for about 10 minutes, push this button right here, 10 minutes later, the electrolyzation process is giving us a cleaner sanitizer, a deodorizer that, like you said, kills 99% of certain germs, viruses, and bacteria, but also cleans, sanitizes, and disinfects as well, deodorizes as well.
Wow, that is amazing. I am so impressed. But I have to ask you, of course, before we get into some of the details, safe, I understand, for pets and small children, right?
Yes, absolutely. Even safer than bleach. You know, it's certainly easier on your clothes. You spill bleach on your clothes, you know what happens. You know, but you can smell once again. For the folks, one more time, the activator goes on. You plug it in. You press this button. 10 minutes later, you have this powerful cleaner sanitizer, and then you spray the spray cap on, and you can just spray as you go and clean and sanitize as you go.
That is amazing. So are there any rooms in particular? You know, how do we use the product? I understand there's a mop as well, so it's a whole cleaning system.
There is a cleaning system. You add that mop, and now you'll be able to get all your hard surfaces, like I said, clean, sanitize, and deodorize all of your hard, flat surfaces on the ground. And with the spray nozzle on top, now you can go and spray computer keyboards, the kids' toys, the doorknobs, your steering wheel in your car, certainly all countertops. You'll want to do that, the top of the stove, just by doing a little spray right here. And again, what we're doing is we're using just the power of good old H2O and sodium chloride salt, that electrolyzation process, create this powerful cleaner sanitizer.
That is so impressive. And when you had me at hospital, when you said that this is what the hospitals use for some of their cleaning purposes, and now we can get this in our own homes, that's pretty impressive.
It is. They've miniaturized the process and done it for anyone to do it, use at home. And we're talking about creating this powerful cleaner sanitizer, deodorizer, Sandy, for fractions and fractions of pennies, because once again, it's just salt, a little bit of salt, and good old H2O. 10 minutes later, you have almost a quart of cleaner sanitizer. And when you run out, you just make more for fractions of pennies.
Wow, that's amazing. So you said normal tap water, normal table salt, 10 minutes. Sounds like it's a deal to me. So how do we get this great product? What is the cost? I know you said fractions of pennies, but what's the actual cost?
The actual cost of the activator is two payments of $29.95. You'll just go to H2OE3.com. That's H2OE3.com. Again, 2 payments of $29.95. But I think today, if we use the coupon code of KMIR-TV, people will receive $5 off. That's the actual your call letters of your TV station there, KMIR-TV-TV, and you get $5 off. So
that sounds like a deal. Something that's safe, something that's effective, and something in these dire times, more than ever, we really need to make sure that we're keeping our home environment sanitary and clean. And I presume there's no odor to it. It's odor-free as well?
Odor-free, for the most part, at the end of the electrolyzation, that's the tough one to say, electrolyzation process, you will smell a smell that almost smells a little bleachy. It's a very clean smell. And that's because once you've sent that current through the salt and the water, you've created 2 powerful oxidants, one that's going to cut through that grease and grime, and the other one once again, it's going to be a bacteria-destroying sanitizer and deodorizer. And once again, this product doesn't just deodorize. It doesn't just cover up odors. It actually neutralizes the odors as well, Sandy.
Wow. Well, you have all the bases covered. I'm so impressed. And thank you for that great opportunity for our viewers to get a special deal. Thank you, Bo. We appreciate it. Stay safe and stay clean.
You stay safe as well.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You know, it's officially summer, and that means we really have to stay hydrated, which means we're going to be upping our beverage count. And if you're like me, you like a good straw with your beverage, but we have to be mindful of our environment. So what to do? Well, our next guest, Bert Ballas, has come up with a genius idea. Welcome, Bert.
Thank you very much for having me on the show, Sadie.
Well,
nice seeing you.
Nice to see you too. Tell us a little bit about your creation. How did you come up with a concept for a portable, reusable, and rinseable straw?
Yeah, I'm an outdoorsman. I travel quite a bit. I'm really conscious of the environment. And as you know, the plastic straw has been banned in most of North America. And everywhere I go, I just saw, garbage in the lakes and the oceans and the ditches and so on and so forth. So I thought, let's give back. Let's design something that's sophisticated, portable, versatile, as well as compact, and then on top of it being self-rinsing for cleanliness purposes. So thus we came up with the straw.
Well, I think you've hit all of the indicators that you need. You're environmentally friendly, it's rinsable, it's portable. What I like about it is that there's different sizes too, because oftentimes we have different size glasses, right? So you can adapt the straw size to whatever you're drinking your beverage in.
Yeah, good point, because it comes in it screws together, so it's actually got the versatility of 4 lengths. You can use it in the short glass, medium glass, tall glass, or even something like a bottle, like a big tall bottle. So it goes up to, and I like that versatility. And it's easy to carry in your pocket or your purse.
So smart, so smart. And now, of course, during COVID-19, we're so worried about hygiene and sanitary conditions. So tell me how your product really helps us there as well.
Well, what we designed it to be an everyday personal item. So when you pick up your keys, you have the straw with it. You can even be attached to your keys or on a lanyard. You carry it with you, and it's 100% personal, just like your toothbrush. Now, you don't know who or how many people have touched your glass. So really, when you get a beverage or a drink or a can, you can use your own personal straw, put it in, and drink the fluids in it without having anyone else have touched it. And again, saving the environment at the same time.
And how is it you have a rinsable way to do it too in the case, right? Is that correct? Am I correct in saying that?
That's correct. Well, what we did is we put it into a watertight case. So you can put water or mouthwash or whatever in the morning, you put it in. That way, after you've used it, let's say, juice, pop, whatever, milk, you can put it back in the case. You just shake it, or as you carry it, it shakes, and it basically self-rinses it. So when you pull it back out to use again, you can just use it right from the case, or and then when you get home, you can just dump it out and put the new water in it or new mouthwash in it, and it takes the stickiness and so on away.
So show us that.
So you don't have to go.
Yeah, and I see that you have it there, Bert. So just lift it up into our camera, too, to just kind of see how small it is and compact. Right, you just can put that on your keychain. Genius idea.
I have a keychain with a bottle open on it, and then basically it unscrews. I've got liquid in it now, so I'm not going to dump it. And then you just pull out the straw, and you put them together, you screw them together, so you have 1 length, 2 lengths, 3 lengths, 4 lengths. That would be for medium-sized glass. Now you can make it that long. The next size glass, and it's all stainless steel, so it doesn't rust. It's just like your cutlery, and you got to make it that.
And I see
Look
you
at the
have
length of that now.
Oh, that is genius. That is really fantastic. And the tip where you put your mouth, I see that's kind of soft, right? So
yes, surgical tubing. So again, it's for hygiene, and it doesn't get cold or warm. Plus, you don't have metal against your teeth. And then you got a little brush in the center of the case too, so each section can be cleaned. And as you can see, you just take it apart. Mine's wet right now because I do have fluid in my case, and I put it right back in the case like that. And look at the size of the case. It's only tiny.
I love it. Thank you so much, Bert. Quickly tell us how we can find the straw.
Well, just go online, and you can buy the straw.shop. So you can purchase it online. It comes in 4 colors.
Great. Well, genius idea. Perfect for those of us in the desert who are going to be really upping our beverage count as the temperatures rise. And I thank you so much for being with us. And I'm looking forward to trying the straw with my iced tea.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
And thank you for having me on the show, Sadie.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.